The first hemp-derived THC retail store is opening up in one of Chicago's hottest new music venues called the Salt Shed. But here's the twist. It's not a regulated dispensary, so let's talk about it. Rise Dispensaries, which already runs recreational cannabis shops across Illinois, is launching a retail space inside the fairgrounds at the Salt Shed. So Rise will be selling THC Delta 9 products. Think of gummies, chocolates, and drinks. It sounds like a dispensary, right? But not quite. Here's where it gets interesting. Unlike Illinois licensed dispensaries which face heavy regulations and taxes, this hemp-derived THC shop operates outside of those rules. It's completely legal, but in a bit of a gray area. Now here's some history about the Salt Shed. Before it became a go-to music venue here in Chicago, this space was known as the Morton Salt Factory for about 100 years. And back in the day, it was called the Elston Dock, literally on Elston Avenue in between the river. And this is where Chicago salt was processed and distributed across America. And if you've driven on Elston or the highway going east, you've definitely seen the iconic Morton Salt sign on top of the roof. And when operations shut down, Salt Shed sat vacant until developers purchased it and turned it into what we now know as the Salt Shed. Why does the first hemp-derived THC store at the Salt Shed matter? It has become a go-to venue for major events. It even hosted a party for the Democratic National Convention. And this is important because Governor Pritzker has never really been a fan of hemp-derived THC products. He's been partnering up with the venue for some big parties. Is this a coincidence, or is Governor Pritzker changing his tune? This is a big deal because if you're a fan of THC or hemp-derived THC products, this is good news for the industry. But also, here's the bigger picture when it comes to this dispensary being at the Salt Shed. More concert goers, particularly Gen Zers, are ditching alcohol and the hangovers and choosing more THC products. And the Salt Shed, it's been around for over 100 years, and now it's turning into a top-tier music venue and a cultural hub, and I'm glad that it's in Chicago. So there's no doubt that it's a good thing for Rise Dispensary to be the only store of its kind at the Salt Shed. But let me know what you think. Are you a fan of THC products versus alcohol? And have you ever been to the Salt Shed for a concert?